This is Kuldrin's Krypt, Season 1, Episode 10, for February 13th, 2017.
Welcome. Welcome. Welcome to my dungeon.
Welcome to Kuldrin's Krypt. I'm your host, Master Kuldrin. If you're new to the show, this is a place to dispel myths, get rid of stereotypes, and answer your questions about BDSM. You can call in at 865-268-4005 to leave your questions, or visit the Krypt at kuldrinskrypt.com. On this episode of the Krypt, we're going to continue unearthing the truth in part 2 of the 3-part series on red flags, fake doms, and predators. And now, those rules to love by. Rule number 1, safe, sane, consensual, and informed. Rule number 2, kinky, KNKI, from the KNKI app, available on all platforms. That stands for knowledge, no intolerance, kindness, and integrity. And the quote from Mr. Paul Young: submission is not about authority, and it's not about obedience. It is all about relationships of love and respect. Hello, Krypt listeners. This is Master Kuldrin, and I need your help. I'm putting together an episode based on humor in BDSM, and I'm going to use your stories. So this is up to you. I want this launched by April Fool's Day, so I will need your responses in by March 25th, 2017. This is a PG-13 podcast, so any vulgarity or profanity will be edited out. Other than that, you pretty much have free reign. Leave me your email address in the voicemail, and for your participation, I will send you a Kuldrin's Krypt Unearth the Truth exclusive sticker. There's only 2 ways to get these. The other way is to become a patron supporter. You can go to kuldrinskrypt.com/support me for information on that. If you would like to make a one-time donation or sign up for a monthly donation, you can donate as little as $1 a month up to $25. At a certain level, you get a Kuldrin's Krypt t-shirt. At the highest level, we have hoodies that we're giving away. There are a limited number of those, so you may want to get in on that now. I look forward to hearing your stories, and I thank you so much for your support. Last week we discussed red flags and fake doms, so if you missed that, you'll need to go back and listen to episode number 9, and then come back to this episode. As usual, this is partly taken from an article, my own experience, books that I've read, lots of people that I've talked with. The article is from submissiveguide.com, and you can find that direct link at kuldrinskrypt.com/110. So, if you're a new submissive in this lifestyle, you may seem overwhelmed, not really know exactly what to do. That's what this podcast is all about, helping you weed out the fakes, the phonies, and the cronies, and generally get some education started so that you don't become a victim of BDSM. 1 in 5 will have their hard limits broken within the first 5 years of entering the lifestyle. So to go back to the very first couple of episodes, that's why I'm doing this podcast, is to help prevent that from happening. So what do you do first? Where do you start when you're meeting a potential dominant? The first thing that you need to do is ask lots and lots of questions. A dom should not feel threatened by a sub's questions, especially when establishing a new relationship. This is their chance to encourage open communication and feedback. Being told that questions aren't welcome or having your questions ignored or avoided altogether, this should make you think twice about continuing to chat with or meet this person. And I stress this. A good dom will encourage learning, and the first and most important thing that you need to learn about is this dom. How are they going to treat you? Are they going to teach you things? Are they going to guide you? Are they going to torture you? There are a lot of questions that need to be asked, and the following were provided by the author of this article's master as questions that he would like a sub to ask him. The first one, what does SSC stand for? This is the cornerstone of BDSM, and it should be the easiest question that a Dom can answer. Some Doms will follow RAC, which stands for Risk Aware Consensual Kink, instead of Safe, Sane, Consensual, but they should know what SSC stands for, and one up on that, they better know the difference, and they shouldn't have a problem talking about what the difference is. That's a good place to start. Also, what is their training style? How do they intend to adjust it to your personality? What is the job and purpose of the submissive? What is the job and purpose of the dominant? If they are to use an implement on you, such as a flogger, a riding crop, how would they gauge how hard they're hitting you? How would they tell if you've had enough or reached your limit physically or mentally? Do they use safe words? If you're going to be intimate, would they be willing to be tested for STDs and STIs and provide you with that paperwork? What is aftercare? And how do they intend to handle subdrop if it happens several days later? What are some munches and parties that they've attended, and are they willing to give you names and contact information of the organizers? Now, as a newbie, you may not be able to evaluate these answers fully. However, you can judge whether or not this Dom will be willing to answer the questions, and even better, if they're willing to answer them enthusiastically. Some of these questions can lead to long, wonderful discussions, which can greatly influence your path. In my previous BDSM relationships, and in fact, even vanilla relationships, I'm always more than eager to answer questions, because to learn about someone is the only way to get to know them. That sounds like a ridiculously common sense statement to make, but it's amazing how many people forget that because of all of the hormones and the excitement of either getting into this lifestyle or just meeting someone new, whether it's someone in the lifestyle or someone in the vanilla world. It doesn't matter. It's the same type of excitement for the most part. Now, unless they're a new Dom, they should be willing and able to give references. Are there subs that they've had past experience with, either under contract or just in play? What happened with the previous subs? Can they give you their email address or introduce you to them, give you their phone number, talk to them, and listen very closely to what they have to say. It's always important to me to tell any potential subs my history with other subs, both the good and the bad. Maybe your new Dom has only had wonderful experiences, but for those of us that make this lifestyle part of our everyday lives, it is just as likely that they've been in some relationships where there's been some personality conflict. In the end, the bad reports might tell you more about their strengths and weaknesses than the glowing reports of friends. And speaking of friends, will the Dom introduce you to their friends in the lifestyle? Are there any? I'm not talking about these friends on FetLife or Facebook or Instagram, any of those social medias. I'm talking about real life friends. These others may just be a collection of names that seem to establish credibility, but they have no basis in reality. I'm talking about people that they have interacted with and find out how they treat other Doms and subs on a casual basis. This is going to reflect how they will treat you once that new sub smell wears off, when the honeymoon phase is over. Aside from their friends, are they willing to let you go to munches to form relationships in the community? Or will they only let you go when they go? Do they tell you that they will let you go only when they feel that you're ready? Munches are a very important part of the community. They are a safe place where you can ask questions, receive various and sometimes conflicting opinions, and meet people with whom you may interact with for the rest of your life in the lifestyle. They may legitimately want to be present with you in order to teach you protocol and ease your way into the lifestyle. After all, most Doms care deeply about teaching their subs, But if they continually tell you that you're not ready and they're not taking any steps whatsoever to train you to be ready, then consider this a big bright red flag. Isolation from the community can also occur by forbidding you to join lists or forbidding you to talk to other subs. Many DOMs will deny you permission to talk to other DOMs due to protocol issues, but most have no problem encouraging communication with other subs. Many experienced subs love to mentor new subs, and they love to be asked questions and talk about their experiences. That should be a relationship that the DOM encourages. Although they may want to be copied in on the emails and text messages, a caring DOM will not limit your questions, but they may monitor them so that they can point out any concerns that may arise, or so that they can address any concerns that may arise. And that has always been the case with myself and my relationships. There are people that have been in the lifestyle a lot longer than me, a lot longer than a lot of the submissives that I've had relationships with, and some of the best information has come from other subs, not necessarily, and this is kind of sad to say, but not necessarily from other DOMs. There are certain techniques and training styles, things of this nature, that DOMs can teach DOMs, but when it comes to what it's like on the other side of the fence there, we can only imagine. Since I've not been on that side, I don't know. So it's very important to me to encourage a friendship or encourage a submissive to find a mentor in the community. As a new sub, you should gather as much information as you can and make an informed decision as to whether or not you want to form a relationship with this particular DOM. Most DOMs' rule is to protect the toy, not isolate the toy. As far as I'm concerned, you're performing your duty as a submissive by developing relationships within the kink community, asking questions, and making sure you are entering a safe and healthy relationship. Next week on Kuldrin's Krypt, we will wrap up this 3-part series. In part 3, we will examine warning signs in training and abuse versus BDSM. This will also help us point out all these wonderful facts about predators, not just in BDSM, but also in the vanilla world. In the meantime, be sure to check out our website, kuldrinskrypt.com, and while you're there, click on the Support Us tab in the top right-hand corner to find out how to receive a Kuldrin's Krypt t-shirt or hoodie. Also, don't forget about kuldrinskrypt.com/shop. It's our Amazon affiliate store where we try out fun toys, books, and other things. If we like it, we add it there. To get in touch with us, all of our information for Facebook, Twitter, email, Instagram, Patreon, PayPal, phone numbers, SpeakPipe, you name it, is located at kuldrinskrypt.com/contact resources. This has been Master Kuldrin for kuldrinskrypt.com. Unearth the truth.